Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 da 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 bum 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 ba-dum ba ba dum da 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 dum ba-dum ba-da-dum ba-da-da-da-da-da da-da-dum bum ba-da-dum ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum ba-da-da-dum ba-da-da-dum okay, now I see everyone. Hello, my friends. Hey, you are looking good. Nice to see everyone. Cheyenne from Santa Fe. That makes sense, doesn't it? Melinda, hear me loud and clear. Good. Thank you, Melinda, for letting me know. It's always good to know. Love that song. I know I do too. That's my brother. My brother is a songwriter, very skilled, very successful songwriter. He used to write for Whitney Houston. He used to write for television shows and movies. Not doing so much of that now, but he does write some fabulous stuff. And one of these days, I'm going to feature a song that he and I did together. One of these days, we'll get it up there and running. It's all about homeopathy. Someday we'll get it. So, all righty. Nice to see you all. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joette Calabrese, and I'm here every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And we do one thing here, don't we? One thing and one thing only. It's homeopathy. And so it's an opportunity for me to teach you and for you to learn. So, for those of you who do know me, it's always great to see my friends showing up here. Hello from Iowa. Thanks, Colleen. Hi from Jacksonville, Florida. Oh no, breaking up. No, how about everybody else? Am I still breaking up for everybody? I think it just depends on where you are because so far it's looking pretty good. Hi, Polly from Virginia. I'm looking at Facebook Live people. Hello from Alberta. Hello, Canada. I'm so sorry about your prime minister. Did you hear what he said the other day? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we just have to put up with who we have in leadership in our two countries, don't we? Off and on. Good now. Good now. Good. Glitchy, but then it comes back. Good now. Good now. Good now. Good now. Okay, great. Breaking up is on and off. Breaking up is hard to do. So I don't know if any of you saw, we had a Facebook post that I put out years ago in which I said, I had a picture of myself with a tennis racket, and I said, I've had done, no more homeopathy. I'm going to retire and I'm going to play tennis. I'm going to hang out and have fun. I'm not going to work any longer. I'm not going to teach anymore. I'm not going to take any more cases. I'm not doing any of it. And then halfway through, you read, nah, never mind. Just joking. Never mind. That is something we wrote a long time ago. And so it's kind of funny because it reminds me of a story when my brother and I were little, and my father was a professional musician. And so he would play well into the night on Saturday nights. And so Sunday mornings he would sleep in. It would drive my brother and my mother and me crazy. We hated that he wasn't with us. We wanted him to get up and go to church, and he would not do it. So one morning, it was April Fool, and my brother and I were, it's the 1st of April, and my brother and I were, I don't know, maybe we were 7 and 8. And my mother said, I've got an idea, kids. Let's do an April Fool on your dad. Tell him that the kitchen's on fire. So we were so excited to be able to lie with permission. Very cool. And so we were new at this, and we didn't remember exactly what April Fool was. We were kind of young. So we ran upstairs and my mother said, you got to tell him with a lot of excitement in your voice, like, Dad, the kitchen's on fire. So we ran into the bedroom and he was sound asleep. It was probably about 9:30 in the morning. And we said, Dad, the kitchen's on fire. And he and my mother had said, when it gets up, then you say April Fool. Well, we couldn't remember what the phrase was. So we were yelling out, Merry Christmas, Happy Anniversary, Happy New Year. We couldn't remember what the antidote was. What are the words we're supposed to say to stop him? Because we were plastered up against the wall as he flew down the stairs. I can't believe he didn't get angry. It amazes me to this day. What a horrible way to wake up in the morning. My mother was in hysterics. She loved doing it. It was just too much fun. And he had to be a good sport because it was April Fool's Day. So that's what I was playing on all of you folks a few years ago when I said that I was quitting. Because I don't plan on quitting. I think I'll be doing this till my last days. I don't know if I'll be doing it to the same degree, and I don't know if I'll be putting as much effort into it, because just in case you don't know, I work flat out from very early in the morning till well into the night. Tonight after this, it's now 8:00, 7 after 8 Eastern time. Then after we meet, then I teach a class, and that will go about 2 hours long. It's a gateway class, by the way, my friends. And for those of you who have not joined a gateway study group, it's not really a class, it's a study group. You meet people that you will become friends with for the rest of your lives, and you will be learning homeopathy meanwhile. And it is through my group. So it's my manuscript. You study together, you learn together, and you do it all on. Don't have to do it all on Zoom, but many meet on Zoom. Sometimes we have as many as 100 people meeting every week for the solid 8 weeks of study. It is fabulous, and from that, many homeopaths have been born. And so what I mean by that is they go from there to Gateway 2, then they take a couple of my online courses, and then now many of them are in the academy today. So so that's what I do pretty much every Monday night. I teach about 60, sometimes even more than that, sometimes only as few as 25 people, and they ask me questions, and that's part of the study group. So I want to tell you that I love doing that, but it is a lot. It's a lot of work, and although it's fun and it's my nourishment, it's a lot of work, and so I don't plan on slowing down too much. But so anyway, we got to talk about something tonight, right? What should you do homeopathically in case of a catastrophe? I'm reading directly from what we sent out. Or shift in your resources. What should you know? What should you own? So, I use my Materia Medica. For those of you who don't know about it, you can certainly get this on my website, my Materia Medica. Very simple, very easy to grasp Materia Medica. Many Materia Medica, because most Materia Medicas are very involved and they're fabulous. Mine is really just a cursory idea so that you can get a basic idea. It's kind of I don't know. I don't even know if I'd call it a desktop guide. I titled it Practical Homeopathy for Busy Families, so that you can quickly find the homeopathic medicine and its uses. So when we open this book up, we're going to go through the A's first. I don't have that many homeopathic medicines here, but 4 of them begin with the letter, and that makes it easier, my friends. So make sure you own these medicines and you know how to use them, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. The first medicine, I bet you all know, for those of you who are old hats to homeopathy, you know what the first medicine is, right? It's aconitum. Aconitum, or sometimes known as aconite for short. The full name is Aconitum nipalis, and it is one of the most important medicines that you could possibly have in your kit. Now, aconitum, used for the quick onset of a cold or a flu, or somebody who knows what pneumonia feels like, right? They've had pneumonia, they've had bronchitis, and they go, oh my gosh, I can feel it. Bam, aconitum. Aconitum 200. Aconitum 200. When my mother was having strokes earlier on in her life, aconitum 200, it pulled her right out within minutes, seconds, my friends, aconitum 200. When my father had cardiac arrest, I used either aconitum or another one we're going to be talking about in a little while. Aconitum. Yeah, you've got it, ladies. Yep. Uh, 200. Can you own it in a 6 or a 3 or a 6 or 12 or 30 or 1? Of course. But aconitum 200 is across the board one of the best medicines you can get because it is so useful on so many levels. We love aconitum 200 mixed with bryonia 30. It's a Banerjee protocol for any cold that's coming on, for any lung issue, for pleurisy, bronchitis, especially at the onset, at the very beginning. If you can get that and hit it early on, you've got it right on the mark. Injury to the eye, aconitum 200. What else, ladies and gents? Yes, aconite is my favorite. Yep, love aconite. Yes, beautiful, beautiful medicine. Anybody have any other ideas what this is good for? We got a lot of great uses for aconitum. Heart, vascular, um, anything with a quick onset. 1 minute you're fine, the next minute, bam, you're in tough shape. There it is, accident. You're in an accident, you get aconitum. The first thing you're driving along, everything is fine, and then bam. Now you might have a broken leg, you might have all kinds of contusions, etc., and you may need attention, conventional medical attention, but you're still going to use aconitum. And yes, thank you very much. Aconitum is superior for shock or a shocky state. It doesn't have to be actual garden variety shock. It doesn't have to be frank shock. It could be feeling of having been shocked. Anxiety, yes, absolutely. Nightmares, yes. The aconitum is a medicine that you should never be without. Make sure you own it. Stress be it's amazing for panic attacks. Ailments from in physical, psychological. Someone was held up by knife point. Yes, knives. People kill people with knives. Hell by a car. Yes, people can die when hit by a car. So it's what here? Can you hear? No, I've got everything all set. So years ago, you were held up at knife point. Never been right. Nightmares here and there, inability to fall asleep, some anxiety, even though it might have been 10 years ago. Aconitum nipalis, yes. 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 Aconitum is great for the onset of infection as urinary tract infections. Yes. Yep. 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 Sound is down. Yes. Breaking up. Lost her for a little while. So eye emergency. Yes, it works great for eye injuries. Now, it doesn't mean we just stop there and that's it. Let's say somebody has an injury to the eye. It's the shock. We use that. If it gets infected, we go to another medicine. We're going to medicine, that other medicine. We're not going to go next to it yet. We're going to stay in alphabetical order. And yes, doctors Banerjee use aconitum 200 to open cases with newborns up to a year old. Yes. For any time they open up and I do the same thing. Anytime we open up a case, a chronic case for a child up to a year old, we open it up with 1 dose of aconitum 200, 1 dose, 1 day. Why? Because we make the assumption that there may have been some trauma at the birth. And most births are not at home where they should be. Yes, births should be at home, but they're mostly not. And so it's a scary place where many children are born. Children are whisked away from their mothers often, or the mother is induced and freaking out, or the mother has been given a general anesthesia or a local anesthesia, and the baby is not connecting with the mother properly, and something off, says the baby. I was all comfy in that womb and everything was good. And now things are not so good. That's aconitum. So one dose, one day, then we start with any other conditions that need to be resolved. Nice job, ladies and gents. Yes. Should all newborns be given aconitum? Well, when we open up a case, we do. And so, yeah, I would say probably it's a good possibility that a baby could use it. One dose, one day. I had a home birth 2 weeks ago. Beautiful birth, my 11th baby. Oh, come on. Carenza, you are amazing. You are the kind of woman that we need in this world today. That is it. You are the kind of person that we need who understands the value of humanity, who understands the importance of family. You bet. How often do we use this medicine when there is a post traumatic stress disorder or anxiety attack, etc.? Usually twice a day until very much better. Yes, congratulations on your baby. All right, so the next medicine is Apis. Now, as ubiquitously used as acronym has so many uses, Apis is good too. But I have to tell you that Apis, it can be a lifesaver, my friends. When there's an allergic reaction, the lips swell, or the tongue, or the uvula, or the throat, and there's swelling because there's anaphylaxis, there's an allergic reaction, especially in this area, but also if there are hives, urtica, um, urticaria, excuse me, then we use Apis, APIS, Apis mellifica. Apis mellifica is the homeopathic version of an EpiPen. So when EpiPens went on market for a short time, anybody remember that? They cost about $80, $90 to own an EpiPen, to buy an EpiPen. Anyone remember this caper? Yeah, they went off the market for a while, and then of course it freaked a lot of people out because they didn't know about Apis, and they thought that they were dependent, and they were indeed at that point, on their EpiPens. And so then all of a sudden, the same company came out with another one, new and improved, and now it's $700. Yeah, they just weren't making enough money on it, so they thought they'd up the ante a little bit. Meanwhile, Apis costs about Apis 30, $12. And I have seen um, uh, the effect of a food or bee sting or peanuts, or pollen or chemicals, etc. I have seen it antidoted with this beautiful medicine, Apis mellifica. Yes, it is a very, very important medicine to own. And the sooner you can veer the opposite direction of an industry that is there to make a buck on you, and then still not cure, then you want to do that as soon as you possibly can. So it's also good for, and as I said, anaphylaxis. It's good for hives because that's an allergic reaction as well. It's also can be very useful for bee stings. It's my second choice for bee stings. My first choice is ledum, but Apis is my second choice because it is made from homeopathic honeybee. It's made from a honeybee that is ground down, mixed into the alcohol, made into a tincture, then diluted, succussed each time in between. And it makes for a medicine that will not only treat the condition at hand, that's true for all of these homeopathic medicines, but it will also likely make the events happen less frequently, less intensely, and not last as long. Less intensity, lasting for a shorter period of time and a larger space between each episode is the way when we use these medicines. Absolutely. Yes, Apis in a 30 for allergic reaction, in which, not any old allergic reaction, we're talking about swellings. So there could be swelling under the eyes, swelling of the lips, the tongue, the uvula, the throat, swellings, edematous swelling, swellings um, of urticaria, hives, those kinds of swellings. Now we can use Apis for cardiac issues. We can use Apis for swelling of the ankles. We can use Apis for a lot of conditions, edematous swelling, but particularly when it's an allergic reaction as well as a very fluidy reaction, encapsulated around the eyes, etc. All righty. Let's see what else everybody else says here. We never used EpiPen, had to carry one. Saw Apis bring my son's reaction calm down in front of our eyes. Oh, yeah, you'll witness it within minutes. First, you'll witness as you're using the medicine, you'll see their shoulders are all freaking out because they're so frightened, and you see the shoulders start to drop. And then you see the swelling starts to just soften a little bit, and you keep administering and administering, especially when it is a reaction that is sobering. Okay. No, chronic edema, probably not. Well, I don't want to say that, but it's usually edema of the ankles. It's not just any old edema. It can be in other areas, but it's a little more specific there. Okay. All right. So 30 potency, 200 potency. For people who have very severe anaphylaxis, I've even taught 1M, even a 10M, but I don't think it's even necessary, to be honest. Okay, we're at number 2. Okay, so first we have aconitum, Napalus. Number 2, we have Apis. Number 3, I bet you know. Yep, another A, Arnica. Arnica is also for cardiac issues. Arnica is also for vascular issues. Arnica is great for before surgery and after. Just don't use it days before surgery. Use it just one dose the night before, the morning of, and then off you go into surgery. And then afterwards, it can bring person back round again from the general anesthesia. It can keep somebody from hemorrhaging. It is a medicine for hematomas. It's a medicine for, a goose egg on the head. It's a great medicine for head injuries as well as soft tissue injuries, such as on the thigh. It's a great medicine for seatbelt injury where the breast is harmed. So that's soft tissue injury. That's a great medicine for that. Arnica is a very ubiquitous medicine as well. We also use arnica for itchy skin. We can put 30th potency in water and spray it. Hi, Harry. Got your message. Thank you, Harry. Love that. I wrote back to you. I don't know if you got it yet. Spray it on the skin. Picture, although in some situations it can. But for the most part, we use it to calm things down. Great for sleep, jet lag, for feeling beat up, just beat up. I didn't sleep last night. It was my own fault. I had a cup of coffee before bed. That was really stupid, and I knew it. But I was craving something sweet, and I thought, well, I'll just have coffee instead, so that I don't go to some place, go in the cabinet and start making some kind of a little dessert. So I had coffee instead, and I didn't sleep. So this morning when I got up, I was feeling kind of beat up. I just didn't feel chipper. I wasn't feeling at my best. So I took a dose of arnica. It was very good. Yep. I just take my arnica and generally speaking, I should have taken arnica last night when I wasn't sleeping. But you get caught up, and I was reading, and I'm reading this fabulous book that I'm reading to my mighties, this fantastic book, 50 Reasons for Being a Homeopath by John Compton Burnett. I can't put it down. I keep reading more and more. So, Mark, good morning, your uncle. Feeling like you've been hit. Yes, when you've had an injury. Arnica montana. Arnica montana for afterbirth, when the woman has just given birth to her baby, and it also helps even before the birth of the baby. It can help with pain. It can soften the whole effect of it. That whole area is not so sore, etc. It's excellent. 200 potency. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Arnica montana. Okay. How are we doing on time? Let's see some of these other questions. I used it alternating with Arnica 200 when someone fell playing pickleball, hit his head on a concrete wall and went into convulsions. Within minutes, the convulsions stopped just before the ambulance arrived. Arnica is amazing. Yeah, it's a very, very good medicine. Learn about it. Study it. Learn about it in my Materia Medica. join a study group, learn about it online. I don't care how you learn about it, just learn about it. Know these medicines, my friends. Yes, vascular issues. Thank you very much with Hamamelis. The Banerjee protocol of using Hamamelis 200 with arnica and low potency twice daily can help with hemorrhoids a great deal. Rectal pain is arnica. And whether it's venous or not, it's still, if it's rectal pain, we often think of arnica montana. Fibromyalgia, yes, yes. We also look at, for fibromyalgia, we also think of Rhus tox as well as that. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Would it be good for an anxious person about to give birth? Arnica or aconitum would be good for an anxious person who's about to give birth? Yes. The kitten found in the snow. Yes, thank you, Wendy. Yes, absolutely. For aconitum. You got that right. Yeah, I had a neighbor who in the middle of the winter, this is when we lived in Buffalo. I don't know if you know anything about the weather in Buffalo, but and especially where I lived, we lived in ski country up on top of a hill, and we would get easily 4 or 5 feet of snow in January, February. And in the middle of the winter, this neighbor heard mew mew, and they found a little kitten, mostly dead, just barely moving out in the snow. Someone must have dropped it off somewhere. I can't imagine that its mother could have given birth to it in that area, in that weather. And they thought it was going to die. It was in shock, and so they gave the little kitten aconitum. I believe they gave the kitten 200, and the kitten kind of came to within minutes. So it's also very good for that kind of shock. All righty, let's keep going. Where are we? We did aconitum, we did apis, we did arnica. Now, arsenicum. Arsenicum album, right? Don't we love arsenicum album? Arsenicum album in its gross form is very toxic. Aconitum in its gross form is toxic. Arnica is not so much, a little bit, but not so much. Aconitum and arsenicum are very toxic in their gross form, and those make our best medicines. Why would something toxic make our best medicines? Well, because in a homeopathic pharmacy regulated by many regulations, following their own regulations as well, they dilute it and dilute it and dilute it. And as they dilute and dilute and dilute and make it less and less potent from the original toxic substance, and in between it's succussed, and they dilute, down goes the toxicity and up comes the curative action. Yes, absolutely. Arsenicum album, food poisoning. The story of my husband, who, when I took out some turkey with stuffing, I was planning on throwing it into the garbage. And I was really busy that day, and I didn't. I left it on the counter foolishly. I told my children, don't eat this now. I'm throwing this out because it was too old. I'd found it in the freezer and it needed to be discarded. And I don't know why. Maybe the was being taken out right away. And so my husband came home, and unbeknownst to me, after it's sitting out for, I'm going to say, I was being pretty lazy around that time. I think that turkey and stuffing were out for maybe a day and a half. I mean, into the next day. And he ate it, didn't have a bad taste, and he got very, very sick. So if you look up on my blog under food poisoning, Joette Calabrese food poisoning, you'll find the story. He was very sick. And what brought him around was arsenicum album. It's a great medicine for extreme food poisoning. You would never go to Mexico or to Calcutta without arsenicum. It's great for infections. It's great for dental infections. It's great for infections after surgery. It is all the way around a fabulous medicine. It's great for gastrointestinal conditions with burning stomach. It's with pains. Others are going to give me wonderful ideas here, right? Great medicinal for itching. Thank you very much, Monica. Arsenicum album is one of our best medicines for itching and for restlessness and panic attacks with restlessness and anxiety with restlessness after having been poisoned. If someone walks across a lawn that was just sprayed with pesticides and they feel very poisoned and jittery and anxious, and oh my goodness, yes, that's when they're going to use arsenicum album. 200 potency, you bet. Absolutely. Yep. For dental infections, we use it with hypericum. That's hyper R's. And we use hypericum 200 and arsenicum 200. Now, this is not for localized or exterior like gum boils. This is for deep infections, osteomyelitis in the mandible or the maxillary. Yes, these are all fabulous medicines, my friends. And oh, I love your stories. I love your stories. But I'm going to have to dash off because I have a class to meet with now. And for those of you who are not Mighties, consider joining. There's a lot of camaraderie here, and we have lots of things in store coming up this summer for those in the Mighties group. But more importantly, I believe, is for everyone to join the study group if you've not already done so, because you will make friends and you will learn way beyond what you think is possible. Yes, we're going to carry on with those gunpowder heckler lava. Yes, amazing for infection. All righty, my friends, love you all. We'll see you next on that I want to know about. All right, my friends, have a great night. God bless you all. Mwah, good night.
I don't know what was with the internet connection, right?
It's always something.
No, it's always something.